Okay, welcome back to Corner Covered, and we are back with the second part of dyeing this wool. Different method, different way. Just to recap, we used RIT dye to cover this. We used approximately about 2 tablespoons of vinegar per little cup of RIT dye. We used blue and green on this, and looks like a mess at the moment. But there is blue and green. The camera doesn't show it very well, but it's there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to microwave this because heat is what makes the dye stay in the wool mixed with the vinegar. So you need to have a plate or a dish that you can put in the microwave. And what we're going to do, remember this is on plastic wrap. What we're going to do is we're folded up the sides here like this, and then you're going to roll this up in a tube. Now you have to have a microwave plate or a dish, something that has a little bit of depth in it, because what's going to happen is as this wool heats up, some of this colorant is going to come out, and you don't want that all over your microwave. And that will be a mess to clean up. So, see, it's already squishing out. So I'm going to grab my towel because I don't want that on my board. So then you get your plate, which I've already used today because we did purple earlier. Now, typically if I do a solid color, I'm going to use my pot on the stove and get that done that way. But for this time, we're going to use the microwave. So I'm going to walk it over there. I'll come get you in a second. Now on your microwave, there's the microwave. We're going to do a minute at a time. Now the thing is, this is heat. Heat is what activates the color in the wool. It's what makes it stay. That's how come most people, when they dye wool, they get a big old pot like I do and put it on the stove and get the water to a simmer and put the wool in with some vinegar and then put your dye in from there and let the dye do whatever it's going to do. I've come up with some really interesting color combinations in a pot. This one I wanted to try. The purple came out really good, but it came out all purple, which was not my intention. This was the purple I just did earlier. And I actually had some reds in there. And unfortunately, I threw a blue in the mix. And we all know what happens when you put red and blue together. It makes purple. Imagine that. And of course, and then I added purple. Not thinking, hello, know your color wheel. I did leave some of the white because, like I said, I do like the pop of a white strand in color. So there's the purple. It has been rinsed. There's no loose color in it. And there are a lot of others. You know, do this the way you want to do it. Whatever suits you best. Okay, our microwave is done. So I'm going to let that sit just for a moment because I don't want to blow it up. Let it rest for a few minutes. And actually you can see there is liquid in the plate. This is why you need to have a microwave plate to do this on. There is liquid there. Okay, so we're going to give it another zap of another minute. But like I said, there's a lot of people who do this. They do it on yarn or they do it on roving. They use a medicine dropper. That's great if you're going for a definite pattern in that. This I just want it colored and I want to get it done quick. So I went this route. And a lot of times they will let their yarn sit and cool off and then rinse it. When typically I dye wool from the pot, I don't let it sit at all. I take it from the stove to the sink and immediately rinse it with water that's pretty close to the same temperature. Keep in mind you have to keep it hot because otherwise the wool will felt and then you can't do anything with it at all. So it's more or less up to you. If you have time to do it immediately, fine. If you need to go do something else, let it sit. But make sure the temperature of the water matches the temperature of your wool. So when this is done, which is in about a minute, there it is. So we're going to grab this bad boy and we're going to bring it right over here. Of course, this is my clean wool. I have to keep this white because Mama needs white for her weaving. Okay, so I'm going to set my purple off and I'm going to put this in here. This is kind of a trick to do this without dropping. So we're going to set that aside. Here's the wool. Now keep in mind, this is hot. Now like I said, I don't like to wait. I want to go ahead and get this done because I want to get this out to dry. Now, my water's not hot, but it needs to be. So I'm going to pull that right over here. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of this color because actually most of that needs to stay white. But you can see already the dye that's flowing out because I had so much in there. And the camera doesn't pick up that color, but it's really pretty. Okay, we're starting to get warm. Because I pretty much used blue and about 3 different shades of blue and green in this. And you get all that out. See, there's all that blue. Now, like I said, I like leaving some white strands in there. I don't like hiding all that. Nice little accents when you're spinning. And I like when I'm spinning a color and bam, there's a little white piece that pops up. And that water is getting really hot. But anyway, rinse this out until it comes clear. Until you get all that out. Most people use gloves with this. I have gloves. I just haven't put them on. I kind of like to get my hands dirty. See? Can you tell? I don't mind getting dirty. Okay, so we're coming out pretty good. Very little color. I'll give this another rinse later after we get done. But I do want to give you a good look at this. So let's come right back to the board. Right here. Now see? Look. There's little hints of darker blue. I hope that comes out. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looks better in person. Kind of a nice pretty blend of blues and greens in there. See, there's some green right here. And then when you go to spin this, it's going to be very, very, very pretty. See, there's a blue and green blend. Don't know if the camera's picking that up. But, and look, there's a spot of purple. How on earth? I didn't even put no purple in there. Look, a little piece of purple. Well, so that makes for an interesting color. So, get creative. Use whatever you want to use. Make up whatever you want to make. Because there is no wrong way to do coloring. There's no wrong way to spin. And no wrong way to weave. It's all about your imagination and your creativity and what you come up with. And you'll be surprised at what people think is fabulous and you think it was awful. So get out there, get to shearing some wool, send it to me, and get to coloring and make something. So this is Snow from Corner Cupboard, and we will see you next time.